Доброе утро, good morning. Добро пожаловать на мой канал. Welcome back to Russian with Nastya. Today we're going to learn how to greet people and to start a conversation in Russian. So, давайте начнем. Let's begin with a black marker. Начнем с черного маркера и давайте напишем. And let's write. So now is morning, and in the morning we say доброе утро. It's formal or informal, doesn't matter. You can greet like that your friends and family or even your boss or teacher. Доброе утро. Good morning. Доброе утро. Давайте напишем. Доброе. Don't forget to write everything. Доброе with me in your Russian language, in your special notebook for Russian language. If you have such a notebook, make a video of it, how you are writing in it, put it on Instagram and stories and tag me and I will share your stories. Доброе утро. Утро. Доброе утро, Nikita, for example. Comma and Nikita. Nikita is a very common Russian name. Nikita, boy's name. Nikita. Доброе утро, Nikita. Доброе утро, Nikita. So obviously, if this person calls this like that, that means that she or he speaks to this person informally because they called him just by a name, just by his first name. Доброе утро, Никита. And the answer is Доброе утро, Елена Владимировна. Here you can see that he addresses to her formally. So maybe she's the teacher, or she's the boss, or she's a doctor, or something like that. Доброе утро. Доброе утро. Утро. Елена. Another very common Russian name. Елена Владимировна. And very common Russian father's name. Владимировна. 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 Доброе утро, Елена Владимировна. So, from this conversation, I can say that Nikita is much younger than Елена Владимировна because she speaks with him informally. He answers formally. Доброе утро, Никита. Something like good morning, Nikita. Доброе утро, Елена Владимировна. Good morning, Елена Владимировна. So this person, Елена Владимировна, is much older than he is. Right? Хорошо. Дальше. Then, after morning, we have a day, and we say добрый день. Good day. Добрый день. Next dialogue. Добрый день. Добрый день. День. Добрый день, for example, Павел Николаевич. Another older person, Павел Николаевич. Николаевич. So, добрый день, Павел Николаевич. His first name is Pavel. His father's name is Nikolai, so he is Nikolaevich. Добрый день, Pavel Nikolaevich. So someone addresses to this person in a formal way. So this Pavel Nikolaevich is a teacher or a doctor or a boss, right? Добрый день, or a neighbor that is older than you. Добрый день, Pavel Nikolaevich. And the answer is добрый день, Машенька. Very, very informal. Добрый день. Добрый день. Машенька. Oh, I think I don't have enough space here. Sorry for this sound. Машенька. Машенька. So, Mashenka is a diminutive. The full name is Maria. The short name is Masha, and the diminutive is Mashenka. Very, very informal way to call a person. So obviously, maybe he's a teacher. You can address as a teacher to your student like this. It's okay to do that. That means that you like this person, um, you know this person very good, right? Mashenka, like little Masha, little Mary, something like that. Добрый день, Mashenka. Or he's a doctor, she's a patient, she's much younger than him, and he can call her like that. Sometimes bosses, for example, he's a boss, can call like that an employee because they're in a very friendly relationship. She can be his secretary or an employee, doesn't matter. It's okay to call like that a person that you know for a long time, Машенька, да, and you are not in a very formal situation. Хорошо, дальше. Then evening comes and we say добрый вечер. Давайте напишем. Добрый, добрый, добрый вечер. Вечер. No. Вечер. We will have someone there. Yes. Добрый вечер, Леночка. Another diminutive. Леночка. Леночка. Добрый вечер, Леночка. Добрый вечер, Леночка. Леночка is the diminutive from the Russian name Lena. This is a short name. The full name is Yelena. The long name is Yelena. Then we have Lena, and then the last one, the diminutive, is Lenочка, little Lena or cute Lena, something like that. It's the diminutive. Добрый вечер, Леночка, someone is saying. And the answer is Добрый вечер, Сергей Александрович. Добрый вечер. So obviously, Lenочка cannot talk to this other person in an informal way. He can talk to her because she's younger than him or she's his employer, but she can't. And she's saying, Добрый вечер. Добрый вечер. Добрый вечер. Сергей, very common Russian name. Сергей Alexandrovich. And his father's name is Alexander. Alexandrovich. Alexandrovich. Сергей Александрович. Добрый вечер, Сергей Александрович. Good evening, Sergey Alexandrovich. So he talks to her informally. She answers formally because he's older than her or he has a higher status than her, right? Хорошо, пойдем дальше. Следующий вопрос, and the next question is, for example, как ее зовут? Так, next short dialogue. Как ее зовут? So you can start a conversation with this phrase. For example, you want to ask one colleague about another colleague. Как ее зовут? What is her name? Как ее зовут? This is a good phrase to start a conversation. Как ее зовут? For example, ее зовут Полина. The answer is ее зовут Полина. Her name is Полина. Ее зовут Полина. What's her name? Her name is Полина. And you already started a conversation with someone, right? Как ее зовут? Ее зовут Полина. And then next question can be, а как его зовут? And what is his name? А как его зовут? А как? And what is? А как его зовут? А как его зовут? And what is his name? Как его зовут? Think. When we think, we say Maxim, for example. Something like that. Maxim. 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 What is the sound in your language when you are thinking? I know that in some languages the sounds are different. In Russian we say I'm thinking. That means I'm thinking. Максим. Да. А как его зовут? And what is his name? Максим. Да. Как ее зовут? Ее зовут Полина. А как его зовут? Максим. Да. Хорошо, отлично. Пойдем дальше. Мгм. Yeah, we can do м as well. Yeah. Or а. Right. Мгм. Yes, as well. Да, можно и so you can use or yeah, all three sounds. Отлично, очень хорошо. I'm glad you came up with other sounds. Это очень хорошо. Где моя тряпочка? И пойдем дальше. And let's continue. The sound is terrible. И следующий диалог, and the next short dialogue will be when you want to meet a person. I know that you know this, but as a reminder, when you ask a person their name, you should start a conversation in a formal way because you don't know this person. You can't ask как тебя зовут. It's wrong. You can't start a conversation like that. You should say как вас зовут. Как вас зовут. Как вас зовут. Зовут. You can say как тебя зовут. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? Как вас зовут? You can ask как тебя зовут only a child, not a grown-up. Как вас зовут? What is your name? Use the informal way of this question. Как вас зовут? What is your name? Как вас зовут? Как вас зовут? Leonid. I don't know. Leonid, the answer. Leonid. Very old Russian name. Leonid. My grandfather's name was Leonid. He's dead already. Как вас зовут? Leonid. Как вас зовут? Leonid. Очень приятно. Nice to meet you. Очень приятно. Очень. Here we have two ways to say this, to say nice to meet you. Очень приятно. And I will show you the second way. Приятно. Приятно. Очень приятно. Очень приятно. Or another way, you can say очень приятно. I'm pleased. Очень приятно. Or рад с вами познакомиться. Рад. I'm happy. Рад. С вами. Or if you're a woman. Stop. If you're a woman, add I here. Рада. So if you're a man, say рад. If you're a woman, add a and say рада. С вами. With you. С вами. С вами. Познакомиться. Познакомиться. Знакомиться. Познакомиться. познакомиться. Рада с вами познакомиться. I'm glad to be acquainted to you, something like that, literally. Рада с вами познакомиться. I'm happy to meet you. I'm glad meeting you. Yes. So for men, рад. I'm happy. For women, рада с вами познакомиться. Рада с вами познакомиться. Отлично. Супер. Молодцы. Рад с вами познакомиться. Or рада с вами познакомиться. Пойдем дальше. Let's continue. Or you can introduce yourself. Just come to approach person and say, меня зовут, and your name. Меня зовут. Меня зовут. Меня зовут Анна, for example. If you're Anna. Меня зовут Анна. Как вас зовут? What is your name? Как вас зовут? Как вас зовут? And the answer could be, I don't know, Michael. And then рада с вами познакомиться. Or рад с вами познакомиться. Молодцы. Хорошо. И последнее, the last one. You can start a conversation by asking how are you and ask in a formal way. Ask in a formal way if this person is not your friend or this person is not your close colleague. Как ваши дела? So not как дела. Как дела is too informal. Be careful with it. Как ваши дела? Как ваши дела? How is your business, literally? Как ваши дела? How are you? Formal. Как ваши дела? You can answer спасибо. Хорошо. Спасибо. Кома. Хорошо. Good. Хорошо. Спасибо. Хорошо. Or спасибо. Нормально. This is the most popular answer. Спасибо. Нормально. It's so funny that sometimes Russian people translate this нормально as normal, and this, when you ask them, how are you? They say normal. Спасибо. Нормально. In Russian, it's okay to say that you are normal, you are feeling normal. Спасибо. Нормально. Хорошо. Дальше. Черный маркер. You can say спасибо. Отлично. Great. Спасибо. Отлично. It's very important to know this rule when O is not stressed. Pronounce it as A to sound more like a native speaker. Спасибо, not спасибо. Спасибо. Because O is not stressed here, we don't have a stress here. Pronounce it as A. Спасибо. Also, it's very important to stress the correct letter to sound more like a native, to have a correct pronunciation, not to get rid of your accent, because your accent is great, it's cute. We Russian people will love accents. So, спасибо. Stress the correct letter, and the one that is not stressed, like O here, pronounce as A. Спасибо. Отлично. Again, O is not stressed, pronounce it as A. Отлично. And stress the correct letter to pronounce words correctly. Хорошо. Ты уходишь, Рой, ты уходишь? Пока. You're leaving. Так, and the last um, word you can use when you say спасибо, when you answer to the question how are you, спасибо, замечательно. Thank you, I'm wonderful. Спасибо, 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 замечательно. Wonderful. Я здесь напишу, I will write it here to have more space. Замечательно. Замечательно. Но. Замечательно. Here O is stressed. Замечательно. Wonderful. Спасибо. Thank you. Замечательно. Here E is not stressed, so pronounce it as E and say замечательно. This E is not stressed as well, so pronounce it as E. Замечательно. O will be pronounced as A because it's not stressed. No, here A is stressed. Замечательно. Спасибо. Замечательно. Спасибо. Замечательно. Спасибо. Замечательно. Очень плохо. Очень плохо, very bad. Yeah, you can answer like that. But then you have to tell a story why it's очень плохо. So you have to actually explain to people why it's очень плохо. So it's easier to say нормально, to not get into details, because they will start to ask you why it's плохо, что случилось, what happened, and you have to tell what happened. So better to say нормально and to get rid of them. That's all for today. Все на сегодня. Спасибо большое за внимание. Thank you so much for your attention. Увидимся с вами вечером. See you in the evening. Да? Yes? Okay. Да. Yes, exactly. If you don't want to get into details, just say that you are нормально, you are normal. Спасибо, всем пока. Целую.